Hey y'all, welcome to a new week of Daily Devos, and I am so excited about where we're going this week. And if you watched the live video yesterday, I told you that we were going to look in Psalm 23. We finally finished Psalm 1 yesterday, and so, or not yesterday, Friday. So now I really felt, in praying about where do we go next, felt like the Lord was saying Psalm 23. And in just a little bit of digging so far, the depth of the word is inexhaustible. And so I wish you can kind of see how many books I have here to share with you. And I've got two more over here that you can't see. But I am ecstatic about what the Lord is going to do through our time together looking at Psalm 23. And everybody knows Psalm 23. Everybody knows the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down, leads me beside. Everybody has heard this at some point in time. It's very familiar. And I think sometimes that those are almost the best scriptures to really dig into because we are so familiar with it. A lot of times as we're reading it, we don't really stop to break it down, or because we feel like we know it, we don't really allow Holy Spirit to elaborate on it. And so it could get good in these next few sessions. Not that it hasn't been good already, but I pray that you will set your expectations to learn something of the Father, His character, His nature, and not only about Him, but about who He is and wants to be to us. And so we are going to take our time and follow His lead. We're just going to spend some time with the Word and the Lord. And I will tell you what I'm using. I have my Tehillim here, which I very much so love. Look at that. It is a beautiful book, and it is Hebrew, and that's why it looks kind of funny. I'll show you, and of course they read left to right, so I always have to remember that as I'm studying. But that is Psalm 23 in Hebrew, and then the English translation. So it is supposed to be the most exact translation of the Hebrew to English. And it has, this is just a beautiful, great resource. And it has lots of things of the customs of when to recite them, how they recited it. It's just a really great tool, and I love that kind of thing in history. I also am using Hebrew English lexicon, so I have some things in there that we're going to get into. But today, to start with, really just to get our minds on it, I'm going to read Psalm 23, just to kind of get it in our heads. And this is my tablet, which has lots of notes and resources on it. But I'm going to get it into our heads and into our spirit, so that as we go about our day today, that Holy Spirit, you would elaborate on this, that it would be in our minds and in our hearts. And then again, as we go about our day, that He'll bring to light bits and pieces of things that we can relate and correlate with what He's speaking to us from this psalm. Interesting note, I came down to record our daily devos, and my husband was singing a song that we sang in Campbell Choir, which that's where we met. We met in choir at Campbell, fell in love. Italy was a good trip. Anyway, another story for another day. And then he was singing, and I said, that is Psalm 23. We actually sang a piece called Psalm 23, and it was literally the 23rd Psalm. Anyway, I said, did you know I was coming down? Like, that's what I was doing my videos on right now. I'm going literally right now to record videos on Psalm 23. He said, no, I didn't. That's kind of crazy. So I'm taking that as a definite God wink of this is the right passage for the right group of people at the right time. So I'm going to read from two translations. I'm going to read it from the King James, and I'm going to read it from the Message. So the King James, of course, and you all know this, but let's just, Holy Spirit, peel back another layer for us. Even in hearing the word, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures, and He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And then the Message says, let me turn this right side up. God, my shepherd, I don't need a thing. You have bedded me down in lush meadows. You find me quiet pools to drink from. True to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. Even when the way goes through Death Valley, I'm not afraid when you walk by my side. Your trusty shepherd's crook makes me feel secure. You serve me a 6-course dinner right in front of my enemies. You revive my drooping head. My cup brims with blessing. Your beauty and love chase after me every day of my life. I'm back home in the house of God for the rest of my life. That's good. And there was one other one I just thought about. Let's read it from the Passion Translation too, and then we'll be finished for today. The Lord is my best friend and my shepherd. I always have more than enough. He offers a resting place for me in his luxurious love. His track takes me to an oasis of peace, the quiet brook of bliss. Y'all, this is so good. It's so good. That's where he restores and revives my life. He opens before me pathways to God's pleasure and leads me along in his footsteps of righteousness so that I can bring honor to his name. Lord, even when your path takes me through the valley of the deepest darkness, fear will never conquer me, for you already have. You remain close to me and lead me through it all the way. Your authority is my strength and my peace. The comfort of your love takes away my fear. I'll never be lonely, for you are near. You became my delicious feast, even when my enemies dare to fight. You anoint me with the fragrance of your Holy Spirit. You give me all I can drink of you until my heart overflows. So why would I fear the future? For your goodness and love pursue me all the days of my life. Then afterward, when my life is through, I'll return to your glorious presence to be with you forever. Wow, that's plenty to sink in for the day, and we will start breaking into this tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.